What's good? What's good? What's good? Little trial and error there. How did that work out? Did everybody hear that?
No.
You didn't hear any music?
No.
I wonder why that is. I definitely added this to the stream.
Was the microphone muted?
You know what? Probably it's muted. So I didn't think of that. So welcome to our first technical difficulty of the show. Thank goodness nobody was watching it happen.
Do we want to try again?
Do we want to go back out and do it again? But it was a good run for that background screen, you know. So I wanted to see if that at least will work. Well, next time we'll put it with the sound. We'll make it have a sound. Happy 420. I'm still packing up my blunt. I had so much to do before we started the show.
I know. I don't know.
We were both like
I'm clicking away. I'm
clicking
lines.
My computer is like a beat behind on everything too, so it's been super frustrating.
So is mine. So we may have some max headrooming in the house.
Hopefully not.
Hopefully not. So far, so good. We'll let everyone kind of jump in. I didn't.
Hey, Kelly.
Hey, Kelly. I made one post. I don't even know if it made it in onto.
I saw it.
Did you?
I saw it.
You're the only one who could like tag you in it.
That's true.
I think it's because I use the hot words, and I know I just don't even think about and because it's just so stupid.
So simple for us to use them. I just found out that, which makes sense, and I guess I should have known this, that that Instagram shadow bans anything that has like a watermark on it. So if I post a video of ours from our TikTok page and cross post it onto Instagram will shadow ban that video.
So it won't show the TikTok video?
Well, it'll show it but it'll keep it kind of suppressed, so not as many people will see it. If anybody that's listening is not familiar with the shadow ban, TikTok is notorious for that. First of all, they will shadow ban you for anything. If you say the wrong words, they'll suppress your videos.
If you use one of their filters, they'll ban
using their filter. I mean, they shadow ban us, and they also violate our content and take it down too. So it's a real sticky situation over there. But you know, the platform is so like, once you get used to using it, it's one of the better video platforms to use out. It
was fun. I was able to use it, and that's saying something. I mean,
yeah. I mean, you are the queen of technical difficulties.
I'm just not, you know.
So,
but I'm getting ready to get a new phone, and I'm gonna freaking become a cinematographer with that bad boy.
I'm so fucking excited for you to get a new phone.
I'm like, I guess if you're investing in myself, so
this is the beginning of our manifestations. Brian actually just got a new computer.
Yeah,
and you're also gonna be getting a new computer in the hopefully relative near future. So we're upgrading. We're upgrading for sure.
Yes. It's Work Wednesday. For anyone that is tuning in later, Work Wednesdays are just day to
work,
banter. Chat, manifest, hit some headlines. We'll be bringing in different guests over the next season.
We have some people lined up too, for sure.
So Work Wednesday is kind of been our mini show, keeping you guys connected. We've found that a lot of people tune in on Work Wednesday.
Not right now, but
apparently. But with that being said, we are trying to grow our audience. We are trying to grow our Instagram, our Facebook page, we are back on the TikTok, right?
Now we're back on the TikTok. I mean, like, I briefly made a video the other day. I actually thought about going live today, and then I just got caught up with all of this stuff we're just trying to make the show better. You know, we're using show notes now. We're taking time to pre-book our guests if we can. We're working in the background. We're working on art and music right now. Is what everybody's working on, and so with all of these things happening around us, yeah, we're just hey,
Work Wednesday. And you're a part of it. So
welcome to it. Make sure if you're seeing this or hearing this, wherever you're seeing or hearing this, that you follow, like, and share. It's going to help us boost our views. It helps boost our algorithm. And if you're in the live show, absolutely join us in the chat, because that always helps. That's very helpful. Over the last maybe year and a half, I've learned so much about social media and about how it works and how you get views and everything. I still don't completely understand it because I'm still an older person. But I'm starting to get the hang of like how we're going to increase our views, and it is from the viewers that are already here and the listeners that are already here. If you could just hit that little button, that's going to help us tremendously. So, and let your friends know, because we don't just
talk about us.
We do talk about cannabis. Obviously, that's what the show is based on, the Cannabis Closet. We want to talk to you about the pros and cons of what's going on in the cannabis world. But there's so much more that we discuss here, just generally about life and such, that I think that even if somebody's not as interested in what's going on in cannabis, they would still enjoy our show a lot.
Yeah. If you are new to the show, we are consuming cannabis. We are an adult use show, and so therefore should not be
prefer you be 18 and up.
18 and up, yes. It works.
Hey, listen, if the military lets you sign a piece of paper and gives you a gun, if you can walk into a bank and get a line of credit, if you pay taxes, if you can vote, you are welcome to come watch this show. And that's how I feel. I also think you should be able to do all the other adult shit too. I'm not super impressed by how the laws work. I mean, if you're going to make a rule that 21 and up is the rule for adulthood, then that should be the rule for adulthood. Fuck all this other shit you heard. What's up, Audrey? We haven't seen you in a minute. Welcome.
Can you also delay adulthood and be like, nah, I'm not gonna be. I'm gonna ride out.
I think that was our 20s.
I mean, technically, you could stay under your parents' insurance while you're in, just.
Also, science tells us, no offense to anybody out there that's under the age of 25, but science tells us that our brains are not fully developed until we're 25. So honestly, if we're going to call people adults and make them pay taxes and, kick them out of their houses and hold them accountable for adult things, then 25 should be the age according to science. That's all I'm saying. Mm-hmm. You can tell me shit at 25, by the way. You can tell me fuck all at 25. I was 25. Okay. I was 25 years old. I had just joined the Navy. Society told me I had been an adult for some time. And I was not bullshitting. I was not bullshitting around with my adulthood. I was like, no, I'm a fucking adult. I'm going to do what I want. So I joined the Navy when I was 24. And boot camp was crazy because when you're an adult, you do what you want, right? Not in boot camp. It's not how it works. And then I went to my first duty station, and in my first duty station, first of all, my first weekend there, which I arrived on a weekend in Japan, I lived in the barracks. I'm a full-grown fucking adult, so I do what I want. My roommate is 20 years old. No, she's 19 years old. The age of that you're allowed to drink in Japan is 20. So she was 19 years old. We threw a party in our barracks room, and and it was superb. It was fantastic. All the cute boys from the ships came. They were there in our barracks room, and we were having a grand old time. And I was drunk as shit. And let me tell you this about the human body. In an emergency, you can sober up pretty fucking quick, is all I'm saying. So I'm drunk as shit. I got my hands on sailors' asses. I'm doing things. And there's a knock at the door. Another party goer. No. It is my chief. And also first class petty officer Lundy. And I'm saying his name because if he ever listens to this show, he's going to get a good laugh. It's my favorite story about him and how I met him. And we've been friends for years. So just got there, hadn't even checked into our duty station yet, hadn't even gone to our first day of work, decided to have a party in our barracks, get a knock at the door. I open the door. My chief is standing there. I know who he is. We've been introduced. So I open the door and I go, "Hi, chief." And he was like, "What's going on?" And I turn and I look and I come back and I go, "Just a little party." And he goes, "Shut it down now." "Okay, chief." Shut the door. He goes, "You got 5 minutes." "Yes, chief." Shut the door. "Everybody out. Get out. Everybody get the fuck out." Like if people were climbing out of our window, people were fucking
be seen going out.
It was so fucking great. So my roommate is 20 years old or 19 years old. She is having a complete freak out. She is career Navy. She's still in. She's career Navy. She is freaking the fuck out. So me, I've been drunk plenty of times. So I go into her room. There's one sailor hanging out because he's super interested in her and he's about to climb out that window any second. And he's like trying to console her and calm her down. I was like, drink some water, give her something clear, make sure she's drinking clear liquids. And I'm like cleaning her room like a fiend. I'm getting everything out that is alcohol related in her room is being moved from her room into my personal room. So in our barracks, we have our own separate rooms, and then we have like a common area. So I'm moving everything out of her room and into my room because I am 24 years old and I'm not going to get in trouble for drinking. Oh my God. So then our chief comes in, like literally he gave us 5 minutes and I took every second of that 5 minutes. He comes in, Lundy is standing behind him in parade rest. He is like a hard ass. They planned this shit. I know now because I've been in the Navy, but they fucking planned this shit. So they had a conversation before they came in the room. Like, you're going to act like a complete heart. It scares the shit out of these girls. They're never going to do this shit again. And so Lundy's standing there and he's like dead face, just stone, just not making a movement. And Chief is yelling at us, "What were you thinking?" And blah, blah, blah. And I was, "Yes, Chief. No, Chief. Apologies, Chief." Like, I learned not to say sorry in boot camp. They'll say, you don't say sorry. It was our female petty officer taught us that because she didn't want us females going around apologizing for everything. Ladies, stop doing that. Don't apologize for living. Okay. Anyways, but so I was like, "I apologize, Chief." "Yes, Chief." And they didn't breathalyze us. They didn't take. Okay. First of all, also addition to this story, we were the cops.
That's right. I forgot you were.
Oh, yeah, we were master at arms. So we got punished harder for doing things that we weren't supposed to do because we were law enforcers. So they didn't take us to breathalyze us. They were like, come be at your where we were supposed to be assigned duty station, whatever, at this time. We'll talk about it later. It was never mentioned again. It was never, except, me and Lundy talk about it sometimes when we talk, but it was never. There was no paperwork. There was no write-up. Like, we thought we were going to definitely get written up and have something, like you get 3 write-ups, you get sent to captain's mast, some bullshit like that. So we just thought we had definitely put our first write-up before we even started working. Nothing. They never mentioned. I never saw my chief on Monday. I never saw him. He never came to see, like, he never came down. Nothing. I didn't see Lundy at all for like weeks. Nothing. And then I ended up working with that dude. I ended up working with him because I ended up going out on the boats. So I went and hung out on the boats and stuff. And I ended up working with him because he was one of the leads over there. But yeah, it's just, yeah, anyways. I don't even know why.
Former life.
I was a full-grown adult, and they try to make rules in our barracks, like no alcohol and shit like that. And I was like, fuck your rules. I'm 24 years old. I'm a full-grown ass adult. I knew everything. The barracks in Japan had the ceilings were like, if you've ever been in a government building, the ceilings are like this cork board shit, and there's like metal that holds it up, and they're like in squares and shit. So we had that was our ceiling. One of the panels had like a lock on it, like you could open it up because it was where the duct and everything was. All the duct work was up there. So we figured out that if we took a quarter and turned the thing, it would open it, and then that's where we hid all of our stuff. So I had alcohol up in the ceiling. I had candles up there. I had a hot plate up there. I had a full toaster oven. I had a full ass toaster oven. I prepared an entire Thanksgiving dinner my first year in Sasebo, Japan, in my barracks room for 4 people.
That's amazing. That's awesome.
We had Cornish game hens stuffed with stuffing. We had vegetables that, we used the microwave, of course, because we were in our teens and 20s. And plus, y'all use microwave still, right? So whatever. Don't judge me. So yeah, we had all the, green beans and all the fixins. I made biscuits in that damn toaster oven. Everything. It was great. And during an inspection one time, they found eggs in my refrigerator. So in our personal rooms, we had our own personal refrigerators. So that wasn't in the common area. That was in our own room. So I had eggs in my refrigerator. And I got called into the command to go talk because they were like, you have something that you're cooking with. And so I go in and I talk to the senior chief of the entire base. They call me in for eggs, y'all. The senior chief of the entire base. I'm talking to him, and he was like, we found eggs in your refrigerator. Where are you hiding your paraphernalia? And I was like, I don't have any paraphernalia. And listen, I don't think it's okay to lie all the time, but when you're in the Navy, sometimes you got to do it for common sense reasons. I'm not even going to lie to you. Like, it's seriously, the higher ups lack so much common sense. I can't even. So I said, I don't have any paraphernalia. You guys checked my whole room. You didn't find anything. And he says, well, why do you have eggs in your refrigerator? And I go, you don't know you could cook eggs in the microwave? Like, I grew up poor, first of all. So I know you can cook lots of shit in the microwave. And he was like, you can't cook eggs in the microwave. And I was like, yes, you can. I was like, you just crack it, you whip it, and you put it in the microwave for like a minute or minute and a half. And it'll make you like a little souffled scrambled egg thing.
Why wouldn't it?
It makes sense, right? And so I got out of that. Fact of the matter is, I was absolutely cooking those eggs on a hot plate. I absolutely was. They taste better that way. Fuck the cherry.
Microwaved eggs.
The only reason I actually knew that you can microwave eggs is because my dog that I could not bring with me to Japan, but my mom did. She finagled her way into Greece with that dog. So, but it's because I made eggs for my dog all the time. It was like part of her natural diet or whatever. So that's why I knew. Good job, Roxy. You got me out of a problematic situation. Potentially problematic situation.
The more you know.
Oh, somebody's calling me from Steamboat Springs, Colorado. I have to check in on that after the show. I don't get very many 970 calls from places I don't know. How was your day today?
It's been crazy. The weather's here is crazy. So the roads are nuts. So like I had to,
Tell us about that, what was happening today, because it was a very interesting explanation.
oh my gosh, it's like there's moisture in there. There's definitely like it's not raining, it's not sleeting, but there is enough moisture coming down in a fine mist, and then it's hitting the ground and it's freezing instantly, like
It's like
not
instant
snow, and so instant ice. Like so,
Black ice is
if you're looking at the sidewalk, it just looks like there's a puddle on the sidewalk, or how it would look when when it's starting to sprinkle and there's a little bit of moisture on the. And no, it is ice. So
shit if
I
you
was
step on it.
driving and I was like, I watched a couple people slide out. I kind of slid out a little and I was like, and I have snow tires and I'm like, what's going on? And then I realized as I was walking on the sidewalk, as I was walking lady, that's what was going on. Like I was slipping on nothing.
Ugh, that's
and
so
then-
annoying.
And so I think they're considering like closing schools tomorrow because of the weather. Like it is
That's
insane.
insane. That doesn't happen in Denver.
I was sitting at at a stop sign and just in a parking lot, and I saw this truck coming from the other direction, and he was pulling out into to come forward to the stop sign, and he started fishtailing on nothing,
Oh, shit.
And, I mean,
That's like you're like, what do you do in that instance?
so
Like you can't even
everybody
get
is
out of the way.
driving at a snail's pace. Everyone is, like it's just best to stay off the roads. I picked Emily up from school. I'm like, we're not going out anywhere, and for the rest of the evening.
It's been grayish here, but no weather.
Like I said, it's not snowing. It's not even raining. It's just weird.
It's just like a cold humidity. Maybe like just moisture's just in the air.
Yeah, it's like it's just
Weird.
it's there. Because it's cold. It's fucking cold and it's wet.
If you guys are just joining us, this is the Cannabis Closet. I am Canna Queen, and this is MJ. We always forget to introduce ourselves.
I don't think our tags are on, are they? I put the new banner up, and I think our
but you covered it with that banner thing there too.
Oh, that too. No, because it raises it up, I thought.
It's underneath the whatever the banners are.
No, the ones that sit in the corner of the like down here. It says Canada MJ when we're
if you move this, look, this is what Work Wednesdays are all about. You can see it now.
Oh, there it is. Okay, I got you.
but you had this.
It should still like bump up because never mind. You get what I mean. Get what I'm meaning.
Canna Queen, this is MJ. We talk about cannabis and other shit that we feel like talking about. And today is Work Wednesday, and we talk about whatever we want to talk about on Work Wednesday.
Is there anything y'all want to talk about?
Yeah, absolutely.
Anything that y'all are working on?
Oh no, I saw this, Audrey. This it was over 24 hours that people were stuck in Virginia, Northern Virginia on I-95 because of that snowstorm.
There was an Uber driver or a person that got charged like an insane amount for his Uber ride, and then he got refunded it. But
I would say so.
Yeah, that was stuck. I mean, people were freaking out. They didn't have food.
You don't plan for that. Like you're just going home from work and you get stuck for over 24 hours on the road. I hope you had gas. I hope aloha. I hope you had a little snacky snack. This is a lesson for all of us that you should always carry an emergency kit in your car that includes a foil blanket. Maybe have some like fruit snacks on reserve or standby or something in your car, and always have water in your car, because shit like this could happen, or you could run out of gas, or you could you just don't know. You just don't know.
So my sister had to come pick me up in Dillon the other day, and she, because it would happen like right after she was picking me up after this had happened, and she put snacks in the car, water. She's freaked out. I'm like,
she's like, well, your sister is like,
because it's 70. I mean, it is.
First of all, if you want to be prepared for any event in life, Include Marla.
Yeah,
She'll be
she's on my apocalypse team.
Yeah. If you are going to do something that you need to be like uber prepared for, include Marla, because she will have the snacks, the water, the Dr. Pepper, and the car will be filled with gas and will be warm, and there'll probably be good music too, most likely. You know.
Yep.
We love Marla too. I wish she would join us this year. She hasn't come through at all in 2022. It's like new year, new Marla. She just like pretends we don't exist. It's fine.
Well, she did start a new job.
She did.
And so her new job, she's up at 6 in the morning.
What?
On calls. So like, because how the time difference in the other people that are working. So
she loves that.
Yes.
She's more of a later
people. You know,
she likes a late morning start. That's what she prefers.
And so she takes, she's always been a siesta taker. And so it has just moved the time of her siesta. And she also, I think she said she's sleeping on her neck wrong. So
put some salve on it, Marla.
She did put some salve on it. I did not direct her to the sound, therapy.
Yeah, absolutely. That shit works.
It has been totally working. So,
can I tell you, I got interrupted in my siesta today, and also my frequency therapy that I was doing today.
All you can do is breathe through it.
I mean, okay, listen, I'm just going to say this. I love y'all. I love all of you. If I interact with you on any level, I have love in my heart for you. But let me tell you, if it's not important, don't call me 3 times in a row. The reason I didn't answer the phone is because I'm not available. I actually put things on my phone so that I don't get distracted during those times. But when you call 3 times in a row, it's assumed that we have an emergency situation. And so the phone ignores your set alert to say, don't bother me, and says, hey, this looks like an emergency, and lets it go through.
Yeah.
This happened 1 hour into an hour and a half, 2 hour. So it's like right in the middle where I still had like 1 more hour left. It was not who you think it was. I'm not going to call nobody out on it, but it was not who you think it was. I know you think it was my mother. It was not my mother. And then they left a message, and I listened to the message, and the message was something that I definitely call you back about. And I needed it today because I too get up at 5:30 every morning, and I start my day. And sometimes, I go into a self-care routine, or sometimes I go straight into work, just depending on what I need to get done that day. But I am up every morning at 5:30 Mountain Standard Time, and I need that nap sometimes, especially when I need it. It's like today, I definitely needed it. Mm-hmm. And I was like, and then I put on the frequency because I was like, I'm playing the one now that just keeps us in positivity and progression. Mm-hmm. So that's what I'm listening to while I'm sleeping, and I'm trying to maintain positive thoughts. That doesn't work if somebody wakes me up for something that's not life threatening. I say that. If it's not life and death, don't call the phone 3 times. I'll call you right back. I saw you called. I saw it. It's crazy because these new smartphones now, these newfangled things, they come with automatic caller ID. So I know you called me. I know you did, and I'm going to call you back because I'm real good about that. I'm a big communicator, and people who know me know that, right? So.
Me, on the other hand,
text her. Text her, and maybe text her 2 times or 3 times. Just
text
be like, hey.
Time you think you're going to call me, and then I will try to pick it up.
Yeah, and plus, both of us are running basically 3 companies, and also working for another individual. We're both very, like, if I didn't answer your phone call, it's because I'm not available to answer your phone call right now. Yeah. And I got a show to do, and I need to look pretty for it.
includes
So
beauty
sometimes the
sleep.
siesta is included. I will say that I used to be down on myself. We've talked about this a little bit before, but I used to be down on myself for taking naps all the time. I felt like our generation, well, no, our parents' generation made it sound like this was something lazy to do, even though they've been doing it for like eternity in other countries. Other countries actually take like societally takes
Society, yes.
like in the middle of the fucking day. And but then gosh, has it been almost 3 years now? I think I met a young lady, and she's one of my favorite people, and she is a serial entrepreneur, and she takes naps, and I was like, oh my god, she just gave me permission. And also, just because you're older doesn't mean you know everything. This young lady is younger than me, and she's doing shit in our community and in our cannabis society, and I love everything she does. Her name is Marnie Madison, and if you're in Missouri or Illinois, you should definitely check out Fleur Verde Academy. And she's got a new podcast. I have got to check that. I haven't had a chance to check that out, but I need to check it out and find out what day it's on, because I would love to give her a holler on that as well. So yeah, she's doing a lot of stuff. She's working actually in Oklahoma too, and building brands out there. She's been really just, she's been on her game since probably the day she stepped onto this earth. And I really appreciate that she's in my life. If you talk to Marnie, tell her I said I love her. I love her so much. But yeah, so I take naps without hiding it now. I take naps, y'all. Like, you're a mom, so good luck with that. But I mean, if you can get a second, like 30 minutes, an hour, they're the best. It's the best way to recharge. And you should definitely listen to what your body's telling you. Yeah, it's hard to. And there's nothing wrong with it. So again, this is the cannabis closet. I have some actual cannabis news if you don't mind.
Yeah, let's do it. I'm just I know my face, I have not even looked at my camera to see what I look like while I'm doing this, but because I'm looking at my screen up close.
You're working on the yak.
I am working on the yak logo. I think
Is your initials back in it? Because if not, I think you should send it over to Brian and just have him do that part.
I was wrestling with that just now. To get it done, I would have to rebuild a whole section, and I was going to finish doing what I need to do on it. And then if I can rebuild the section quickly, then I will.
Well, but don't be afraid to ask for an assist. Ladies and gentlemen, that's the lesson that we're learning this year. We sometimes need an assist. So don't be afraid to ask for that assist. That's what he's here for. He's definitely helping us with our artwork right now. And sometimes he's going to be behind the scenes. Thank you guys so much. Y'all are so sweet and so kind. I feel fresh to death. I got my hair done yesterday, so I feel real, real good. I'm wearing a hat just because that's what I do. But I feel, I'm gorgeous every day.
Yes, ma'am.
So yeah, I got some cannabis news, just real quick rundown of some new laws. And then I actually wanted to talk about this guy that's running for Louisiana's junior senator, Democratic Louisiana junior senator. His name is Gary Chambers. So I actually want to talk a little bit about him. And I don't know if we can pull that video from YouTube or not. I don't know. I don't want to get shut down for putting it, but it is a campaign. It's a campaign ad that he put out. But anyways, well, let me get through these laws and we'll talk about his 37-second campaign ad and what it's all about. It's pretty interesting. So I'm just going to start. I just have a stack of laws happening in Wisconsin. These are they're not in law. They're just being brought to the floor, brought up for debate, and brought up for votes within the state Senate and House. respectively. Okay, so in Wisconsin, Assembly Bill 812 is a bill to reduce penalty for possession. 14 grams or less will result in $100 civil penalty. There's no counting for the offense, so if you got caught before, it's not like they're not going to keep counting. And oh, this is your second offense, and it doesn't increase the fine if it's your second offense or whatever. And then less than $10 for accessories for that. Senate bill and Assembly bill, Senate bill 164, Assembly bill 130, they're pretty much connected. This one is calling for reduced penalty for 10 grams or less with no counting as well. There's no monetary amount put on any kind of like fines or anything like that. Or maybe I just didn't write it down, but I don't think there was. And then SB, that's Senate Bill 790, reduced penalties for 14 grams, $100 fine, no jail, no counting. I want to say this thing about no jail though, like when the government, when like state government or whatever fines you and you don't pay that fine, and then what if they fine you again and then you don't pay that fine, and then et cetera, that can lead to jail time. So you end up being put in jail for being poor. I just want to like make that point because I think it'd be horrible to skip over that. So I said, it's a step in the right direction, Wisconsin. There's no legality there for cannabis. Step in the right direction to go towards more decriminalization. But I still think you can do better. You're still going to be targeting poor people and probably Black and brown communities as well, if we're just honest. West Virginia has two bills to improve medical cannabis access. HB 2534, it would allow for combustible flower, and HB 2550 would allow for home grow for patients, qualified patients, up to 10 plants. HB 2291 and SB 649 would legalize personal use and retail sales. So prepare an avenue for retail sales. This is in West Virginia. HB 2912 would legalize, but I don't know about this one. I'm always questionable about this. It would legalize adult use for and allow for state-run outlets. So it would be run by the state. But with that second bill, the purchase limits are 2 pounds and 3 plants for personal use. So I don't even know how that equates out. That's a lot of poundage. But anyways, that's West Virginia. West Virginia also has HB 2517 be put up. It removes cannabis from the drug screening requirements for employment. HB 2060 reduces penalty for 15 grams with a $500 maximum fine and a maximum of 72 hours of detention. SB 85 would reduce penalty for possession of 15 grams with a $25 fine. Okay, I'll give you $25 just to have, anyways. HB 3205 scales back employment protections from medical patients. This is a negative one. Scales back employment protections from medical patients and prohibits employees from taking action for wrongful termination. So while West Virginia is trying to go in the right direction, there are a few of their representatives that are going the wrong way on that one. South Carolina, HB 150 is being debated in Senate next week. Medical access. It has bipartisan support. Senator Davis, who is a Republican, says, I'm just paraphrasing here, I'm not going to quote him directly, but he says this bill will pass, or his colleagues in the Senate can expect that their bills will be stagnant and they will not pass either. So he's like, this bill will pass or we will vote no for everything that you want.
Ooh, that's a little, that's blackmail-y.
I like it. Listen, I like it. If they listen, I'm going to tell you this. And when we talk about this gentleman, this young man running for junior senator in Louisiana, we're going to talk a little bit more about this. But we got to stop playing by the rules. The Republicans have not been playing by the rules for a long time. I realize this is a Republican senator, so he knows what rules he's supposed to be playing by, and it's not the clean setup ones that are written down in black and white, but the ones that they play by. I think that it's really important that we start calling these guys out and start acting how they act. And that's the only way that we're going to get any progress or any bills passed for anything that we want in a progressive scheme. If you didn't know and you're watching the show, I am definitely very progressive leaning. I am for humans and human rights. That's what I'm for. And so I hope you don't mind. I don't really care if you do. But if we want those progressive agendas to move forward, we have to start playing by their rules. And they don't play by rules.
Well, yeah,
we got to stop being like on the up and up about it all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to start. Oh, okay. Well, let's dig in.
Yeah.
Okay. So Mississippi. So Mississippi. This one I really wanted to talk about a little bit. Mississippi voters voted in favor of medical cannabis in November of 2020. But in a bullshit turnaround, Mississippi's Supreme Court reversed that and nullified the vote. Basically, they took the voice away from the voters. And the reason they said they did that is because they said in their regulations for putting things on the ballot, you have to have approval from all 5 districts, right? I'm trying to say it right. I think that's right. Districts is the right word, I think, or municipality. Anyways,
municipality.
Thing is, there haven't been 5 in over a decade. There's only 4. So what the individuals did who got this on the ballot, I know I'm not using the right terminology. It's fine. They went to those 5 municipalities as they were on the books in like the early mid 90s before it went down to 4. And they got signatures from all of those areas. So they were like, we did it. And then Mississippi said, oh, we're nullifying this because you need 5 municipalities. And by default, there's only 4. So there's no way you could have gotten 5 signatures from 5. So they nullified the vote in Mississippi. There's the Medical Cannabis Act, SB 2095. This is just a short paraphrase. You can look up on normal NORML for more information about all of these states and things that are going on. .org. The Medical Cannabis Act, SB 2095, would restore the will of the voters. However, and also, the act would force patients to try opioids and pharmaceuticals first before being approved for cannabis.
No.
Also, it allows for raw cannabis, and also there are no caps on business licenses. So they're not putting a cap on that. They're like, if you can afford it, you can do it. I'm not sure what the pricing would be. I just realized I spelled licenses wrong on this. But it's okay because it's Mississippi. I'm just kidding. It's just a joke. It was just a joke. I'm just kidding. Sorry. In Kentucky, ballot measures being introduced, HB 225 voter initiative ballot measure to legalize adult use cannabis in Kentucky. So good luck, Kentucky. I'm not sure what that initiative involves. I would like to read it and see if there's any kind of suspect language. We want legalization in every single state. We want legalization across the board, but also pay attention to what you're getting with your legalization, because sometimes they sneak in some bullshit in there and they monopolize it, or they put in some bullshit about what the rules are going to be allowed to be, etc. So pay attention to that, because even though you want legalization, you want it the right way. So you might have to bypass this initiative for the next one that looks better for your state. Just keep that in mind. Indiana, SB 324 would legalize adult use and allow up to 1 ounce. Also, HB 1311 and SB 414 would allow 4-ounce possession and a home cultivation of 4 plants. That sounds better. Georgia, HB 117 expands the CBD law and eligibility to CBD therapy and includes ulcerative colitis as one of the qualifying conditions. So Georgia, catch up, man. CBD is great, but we need full access to cannabis. Florida is doing some crazy shit. Let's see. So here are a couple. So they're not doing, like, just understand that I'm just reading that bills that are being brought up on the Senate floor and being debated. So not all of these bills are going to be voted into yes. Maybe one of them will. Maybe none of them will. But these are the different suggestions that different senators and Congress people have brought forth for legalization or decriminalization or stricter laws in hopes to get voted into law. So that's what these are, and these are just suggestions right now. In Florida, HB 957 would reduce the. First of all, Florida has medical cannabis legalization, so they're medically legal. HB 957 would reduce the penalty for possession. For 20 grams or less, it's a $100 fine and community service. HB 1232 would decriminalize 2 ounces or less. HB 549 and 467 and 55. Oh no, and 467 and SB 467 would allow for personal possession of 2.5 ounces and allow for home cultivation. And HB 551 would allow for business licensing. That could be an SB, I don't know. It's the difference between a House bill and a Senate bill. That's what I'm reading out. SB 776 would allow for adult use 2.5 ounces of a possession limit of up to 4 ounces and expungement of low-level nonviolent cannabis offenses and other drug offenses too, I believe is in there. SB 1696 would allow for 2.5 ounce possession, 6 plants home grow, and they would put regulations and allow business license for on-site consumption sites. So that's an interesting one. I'll see how that gets debated.
That for Florida?
This is all Florida, yeah.
Yeah, like, yeah, let's party. That's all.
I didn't write down the bill number, but there's another bill that would allow for 2.5 ounce possession, 6 plants, and retail licensing. So they have a couple bills that are looking at retail or adult use retail in Florida. So we'll see what happens there. I think that they could get it. They already have medical. Once you have medical, it's kind of like it's the next step into cannabis legalization. In Delaware, they have bipartisan support for HB 305. It's an adult use regulation bill, and there will be a fund established that will help prioritize communities affected by the war on drugs. And in Alaska, I think I have Alaska, Illinois, and New Hampshire left. Yes. And then we'll talk about Gary Chambers. Alaska, HB 246 would seal low-level crimes. In Illinois, they are looking at a bill that would allow for temporary events with sale and on-site consumption, which is HB 144. HB 715 would allow for on-site consumption businesses. SB 4298 would include a preference that 51% or more of a business would be owned by a person with a disability. So that it's one of those, it's a social equity law for and this is in Illinois. New Hampshire is proposing adult use. I didn't write down the number. Adult use for 21 and up, 3/4 of an ounce for possession. So not a full ounce, just shy of a full ounce. For a purchase, not for possession. 5 gram possession limits and 6 plant home cultivation. So there's some laws for you that are potentially going to be discussed in these different states at the state level. So it's very interesting. We'll see what happens. Woo! That was a lot.
Ooh, there's a lot. I know. I'm like, I can't stare at this anymore.
So I have not watched the campaign ad. I actually just read a lot about this guy, and then I didn't get a chance. I didn't stop to watch. I said I didn't get a chance. It's 37 seconds. But there's a young man named Gary Chambers who is a Democratic candidate for junior senator in the state of Louisiana. And he's made headlines recently because he did a 37-second ad while smoking a blunt, and it's a campaign ad. Now, Louisiana is not an adult use state. It is a medically legal state. Yes. It's medically legal, but not adult use legal. So we're not going to play the commercial here because we don't always know the guidelines, and we don't want this to get silenced later. We want it to stay. We want the sound to stay up. So anyways, so I try to find more information about this guy, but he has made headlines so much about with this one act that it's very difficult to find out more than just this. But I did check out his Twitter page, and he seems to be his views are in line with like a progressive Democratic candidate. So he's very progressive. So this 37-second ad says every 37 seconds, someone is arrested for possession of marijuana. Since 2010, state and local police have arrested an estimated 7.3 million Americans for violating marijuana laws. Over half of all drug arrests. So 7.3 million is over half of drug arrests for all drug arrests combined. Black people are 4 times more likely to be arrested for violating marijuana laws than white people. The state wastes $3.7 billion enforcing marijuana laws every year. Most of the people the police are arresting are not dealers, but rather people with small amounts of pot, just like me. So he put this ad out in a medically legal state, but not an adult use legal state. And he's running for junior senator. I just based on some of the other things that I've seen him put out, he put out an ad about equality for women in the workplace, making sure that women get paid the same wage for the same job. And his ads are just very progressive. And so I think I'd like to know more about what he stands on, but I think that he's got everybody's attention. He's I don't know what the poll numbers say, but if he continues on this path, he's going to get at least he's definitely going to get the Democratic vote.
What state is he in again?
Louisiana.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it just depends on what part of Louisiana you're talking about as to whether or not you have like the progressive vote,
Right.
I don't know too much about them as a state as far as politically. When I think about them as a state, I think I know what they are politically, but I would have to look at the numbers to be accurate about that. But
sister, this is why we need her.
Yeah, she would already have it up. But I think it was a bold move, and I think we were just talking about how one of the Republican representatives was like, "Hey, listen, if you don't vote yes on this, then you can forget getting a yes vote on any of your bills that you bring up." And this guy Gary Chambers, as a Democrat, is behaving in that manner. It's like they don't play by the rules. Why are we still playing by the rules? Like, I'm not going to be dirty, but I'm also not going to stay in this black and white territory and not call you out right here for the truth and show the numbers and back it up with facts and receipts. I think that approach is going to be hopefully, I mean, as far as like nationally, he's going to get a lot of national attention. So that approach is going to get him a lot of attention and a lot of support nationally. But we'll see what it does in Louisiana. I would like to see a pro cannabis representative in Louisiana to help get some of those laws passed.
For sure.
Yeah. Because I'm sure he's got some great ideas about what cannabis could look like in Louisiana. Yeah, Louisiana is so crazy.
He's addressing the minority aspect and the
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
Louisiana is so crazy to me because, well, any state that doesn't legalize is so crazy to me because you can look at legal states and see the profit that the states are making. Let's not talk about business owners, because some of them are getting shafted, quite honestly, while others are, corporate leaning. But like, your state could make so much money. Why wouldn't you? When I drive through Kansas, when I drive 6 hours going the speed limit through Kansas and I see all of this open farmland that's not being used for vegetable resourcing, I'm like, what are you doing with your lives out here? What is happening here? Why haven't you legalized cannabis? Your neighbors have legalized cannabis, at least medicinally, on a medicinal level. Do you know how much money you can make in your state for? I mean, I feel like y'all are run by money. So, like, why isn't this a thing? It's because of Big Pharma, because, Big Pharma, but let's just be clear. Big Pharma is about to get in on both sides of this coin. They already are.
They already are.
Using things from cannabis to put out in a pharmaceutical market while voting against cannabis legalization, by the way, also. So anyways, but I just wanted to talk about Gary Chambers. I want you guys to keep your eyes on him, even if you're not in Louisiana, because he's an up and comer. He's going to be, keep your eyes on this guy. He could be running for a much higher office in years to come. He's very, like, assertive. We'll call him assertive, an assertive progressive. And I like it. I like it. That shit turns me on. I can't stand these weak. I know this is not a political show, and I know y'all don't always want to hear this, but I can't stand these weak ass motherfuckers getting up here. How are Democrats in charge but not in charge? Like, how the fuck? Like, what are you talking about right now? You can't get shit done. And the president is shit. I said it. I don't care. He's shit. He's more Republican than he is Democrat, and I don't care. He knows it. Is he better than that other asshat? Yeah, probably. But I mean, just because he doesn't spew racist and homophobic and xenophobic rhetoric, and that's what makes him better. Like, it's not policy shit. It's not that. So, okay, sorry, that was a rant. We have on our show notes like what's pissing Canna Queen off today, and honestly, we haven't had one in a couple of days, and I don't have one to bring today, except that it's ridiculous that we don't have full cannabis legalization, and that we don't have cannabis taken completely off or descheduled off of the scheduling list. Those are the things that always piss me off.
That's where pharma's gonna take advantage in all the scheduling and such in terms of pharmacy and pharmaceuticals and turning it back to.
I don't understand. You just watched the video. It's very good, right? And he's very strong, and he's got a very strong representation. Yeah, I think that he's going places. So pay attention to him. And he's been an advocate for a while. Like he's
not just on the bandwagon.
He's not jumping on a bandwagon. He's been advocating for his community, and yeah. What was I saying before that? I forgot.
By all means, jump on the bandwagon.
But yeah, if you're doing
right.
it and it gets us the right results, I'm not even gonna bitch about it. I mean,
you're right.
it's whatever. Do it and get us the right results. That's what I want to see. I don't remember what. Oh, there it is. Happy 420. 420 on the West Coast. Are you lighting up? I'm seeing if he's lighting up because I'm bringing him on.
Did he duck down? Did he duck?
Yeah, no, he went to go grab it.
Oh.
Happy 420 on the West Coast. And that is our Work Wednesday alarm to let us know that we have about 10 more minutes.
Yeah. So Yak is done. I'm now just working on my initials to see if I can work it back in.
Yay!
Lines are done.
We're going to show you all of our artwork once we get it done, or once we get that label printed, something like that. We'll make sure you guys see it. And we're going to work on merchandising all of this artwork as well so that you can definitely look fabulous with some Queen Kitty, apparel, or some TCCP apparel, or even some Canna Queen apparel. We're going to make sure that we get our act together. You said time is 7:21. Oh, there he is. Okay. Better late than never.
Yes, this is West Coast 420.
West Coast 420.
421.
Hey, sometimes stoners are late.
Never.
420.
I'm never late.
It's never late because it's always 420 somewhere, right?
It's true.
For someone.
It's exactly 420 a little ways out in the ocean.
See, you just have to go a little that way or whatever way.
It's true.
Thanks for hanging out with us today, Brian. This is our banter show, and
I love witty banter.
That's what we do. We have some topical shit today, though.
We do.
We did. But it's been a good day. We've gotten some work done, all of us in the different areas of our lives. I'm going to be working on QR codes and SKUs tomorrow and trying to figure out where we're going to go with that. So if anybody has any suggestions about that, by all means, hit me up in the email. We haven't done any ads today at all.
Nope.
At all. So do a real quick shout out to CQ LLC. That's our education company. We were just approved to do a responsible vendor training in the state of Colorado, which is a requirement for delivery drivers and also hospitality workers in the cannabis industry. So give us a call if you are in that part of the industry, 970-426-5985, and let's get you scheduled for something. You could also shoot us an email if you feel more comfortable with that. Customer service, cqllc@gmail.com. Now, while it's a requirement for delivery drivers and hospitality workers, it's absolutely one of the greatest ideas for everybody else. The MED has made it clear that they are going to use whether or not businesses have fully trained staff in responsible vendor training as a mitigation for any type of administrative violation. So kind of keep that in mind when you're deciding whether or not this is going to be worth it. I think it is. Give us a call and we'll help you out. We also do consulting. So if you don't need that RVT training, but you do need some help getting you pointed in the right direction, we'll be happy to help you out. Hey, if you guys like what I'm smoking on and you want to get some King Palms, go ahead to kingpalm.com and use code KPTCCPJAN for 15% off of your next order of King Palms. Yay!
I guess as long as we're doing plugs, I offer irresponsible vendor training here in Oregon. So
don't be irresponsible, Oregon.
it's free.
It's free, he said.
But know what those irresponsibilities are. So hey,
Yeah.
Know what they are. Know how to be
A 4-day
irresponsible.
class for
know how to be irresponsible.
Mhm.
And as always, if you would like to get in touch with us, you can reach us at cannabiscloset420@gmail.com. You can check out solo.to/cannabiscloset420 to find most of our platforms. I don't think our Apple and our Google, but I think everything else is up there. And if you feel so inclined and you want to hang out with some really dope ass queens, then you can do so by joining us on our Discord. We are there most days, just hanging out, chit chatting about life and seshing and doing work and stuff. You can see us without our makeup on. It's fantastic. Guess what? We're beautiful regardless. So you know, I'm sure you wouldn't be surprised by that. And that's it. That's all of our plugs. Catch us later on Spotify if you didn't get a chance to hang out with us live. You can catch us later on YouTube if you want to watch the video. But if you just want to plug that ear pod right into your ear and listen to us while you work or drive or whatever the case, don't wear ear pods while you drive. But anyways, you can do that on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and Google Podcasts. I will be posting this show before the end of the week, so you'll be able to catch this on a replay later. And you guys be nice to yourselves. Put your mask on before assisting others. It's very important.
Yes. Cultivate love. You know, we deserve it. We all need it.
We all need it. And stay lifted, everybody.
Stay lifted. Mwah.
We love you guys.